everyone, Christina here. Welcome to day 11 of the holiday card series. I'm using this Winter Friends stamp set from Clearly Besotted and Simon Says Stamp today, and I'm going to be stamping the little characters inside some square areas. In order to create those square areas on some watercolor paper, I decided to use these leftover die cut pieces that I had after I used the Pretty Pink Posh die that I just showed you on screen. These are just some leftover pieces, so I put removable adhesive on the back of them, and then using a T-square ruler to make sure everything was straight, I adhered those die cuts onto this watercolor paper just so I could get everything positioned just right. So after those were placed on there, I took a pencil and just lightly traced around the outside edge of each square. You could definitely skip using die cuts like this and instead just use a ruler and draw some squares. I mainly just want some square areas where I can mask off the outside and stamp each character on the inside. So in order to mask off these squares, I'm using 4 little post-it notes or sticky notes, and I just put one on the top, one on the bottom, and then one on each side. And this is going to reserve the area in the center for stamping. This is a really easy way to get some masking done without having to cut a specific mask to use. And it's super easy and simple, and you can reuse these sticky notes over and over again. So after those were in place, I inked up my stamp with some StazOn jet black ink, and I'm stamping it directly onto this watercolor paper. I'm using StazOn ink in particular because it's waterproof. I'm going to be using some distress markers and water to color in these images. So after I stamped the reindeer, I removed all those sticky notes and moved them over to the square to the right of the reindeer. And this square I'm going to be stamping a snowman, and I want to make sure that I have those areas masked off as well. You'll notice that as I stamp each one of these characters that sometimes I kind of rotate them just a little bit so they're going off to the side or, going straight up and down. I think the only one that I stamped straight up and down was the snowman. The rest were tilted so that I could get more of the character inside that space. So after I stamped all the characters, I added my greeting. I'm using a couple stamps from the Holiday Hellos stamp set from Simon Says Stamp. I first stamped the one that says, "A Very Happy," and I just stamped that in the same black ink, which is jet black StazOn ink. I then added Holiday Hello below that in the same black ink. So now I'm going to start doing some distress marker coloring. So I'm going to speed up the video and turn on some music. all that coloring was done, it was time to start adding some detail or adding detail work onto this. The first thing I did was take a red Wink of Stella glitter brush pen and add red glitter on top of the reindeer's nose and also on Santa's hat and Santa's outfit. Anywhere there was red, I decided to put this red Wink of Stella glitter brush pen. After I had applied all of the red Wink of Stella, I switched it out for a clear Wink of Stella brush pen, and I added the shimmer on all of the snowman. So I covered his belly and then also his face. And then I also added some of the shimmer to the penguin, and I added the shimmer just to the black part of the penguin right now. I then took a really thin marker. This is a Copic multi-liner, a 0.3 marker, and I just filled in some of those lines that didn't stamp well. I also took a white gel pen and added the whites back into their eyes. The card base I'm using today is Schoolhouse Red cardstock from Simon Says Stamp. I scored that at 5.5 inches so that it created a top folding card, and then adhered down my watercolor piece straight onto the card base with foam adhesive. After everything was adhered down, I could add some glossy accents to the nose on all three of those critters, or three of the animals and snowman. I did not add the glossy accents previous to this because I wanted to make sure that everything was adhered down before I did that. I also added some clear Wink of Stella to the penguin's hat, and that pretty much finishes the card. Here it is, all completed. The glossy accents has dried at this point, so everything's nice and clear. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I will be back on Friday for another holiday card series video. Until then, thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Please give this video a big thumbs up. That lets me know you liked it. On screen now are 5 videos from the previous years of the holiday card series. These are all day 11 cards. So if you'd like more holiday card inspiration, please click on any of those on screen right now and it will take you directly to that card video. You can also visit me at my blog at kwernerdesign.com. If you click on that link up in the top corner right now, it will take you directly to today's blog post, where you will see a complete supply list with links to stores where you can buy the supplies I used on today's card. Thanks so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video.